Yo,
How's
what's
it going,
up?
man?
Ain't nothing. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good as well.
So,
Just chilling, man. Just came back from the park with my family.
that's good. So I guess a lot of things have been happening leading up to your fight, huh?
Yeah. Had a someone call out from the fight. I guess Austin Warman. He had got facial surgery or some stuff like that. I guess he broke his nose or something in practice. But yeah.
So who's his opponent now that's stepping up on a couple weeks' notice that you're fighting now?
We have Cam Jenkins from Ohio, number 7 guy for amateur in Ohio, and I'm pretty excited for what's coming, in the next 2 weeks.
And this is your debut fight, right?
It is.
So I mean, how excited are you? Your debut fight in Pittsburgh and Monroeville. Leading up to it. How excited are you?
I mean, on the scale, it would be broken. It's just I've been preparing for this for so long. How many years. So I mean, just getting ready. I think that's the most exciting part about it, because it's finally on the contract. There's everything's there lined up. So only I can really say is it's showtime, guys.
Been a long
That's
time
all I
coming.
can say.
Long time coming.
It's a long time coming, and it's like a volcano. So
Oh yeah.
it's erupting.
But I got a question for you here, man. How are you approaching this fight differently, considering it's a whole new opponent? Like, how's your camp been going and stuff?
More so since we just really found out about it last week. Same plan. Working hard, working on everything, going my striking, my jits, other areas. Cardio is fine, so it's the same game plan. Nothing different, just the opponent. I've still got the same objective and mindset to go in there, and that's to work my hardest and open them up and take my chances. So nothing's changed other than the opponent.
How are you doing with it, like, mentally? Like, I know it's tough preparing for someone, and then it just up and
Just last
changes.
minute,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that was the biggest factor. It was confusing at first getting the text from 24/7. It's like, hey, your guy pulled out, and I was just like, whoa, and I was a little sad because I had this thing that is finally coming to me and it's already signed and everything. So it was just it was sad and confusing at first, but then they told me, a few days later, hey, we found you somebody, and it was like, oh, it's crunch time again. So yeah, a little confusion, a little sadness momentarily, but after that, I was just like, oh, we're back on.
Yeah, that's good, and I'm happy that you found a replacement fighter, because you were just as pumped for that as I've seen you for anything else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was on fire. So like, I can say when I got that text message saying that the guy bumped out, it was just like, well, that's a bummer, But now the fire's relit, and we're ready, It's right around the corner, and that's all. I'm more than grateful for having this opportunity.
For people who are like in the MMA and especially around this area, and especially who are like really into 24/7, follow it closely, and you're coming in as this is your first fight, this is your debut. What can people expect to see out of you? Like, what do people like want to know? Like, what do you want people to know about you that they may not know?
I think I'm a pretty open book, and then for the people who actually do know me, I mean, so the people who don't know me and what to expect, I mean, you're just gonna have to see. I'm fireworks. That's the only I can say. I'm chaotic peace. I'm an alchemist. Whatever that, anything that's bad is gonna happen, I'm gonna try to turn it in my favor. So I guess just watch Poetry in Motion. That's something I can say. Poetry in Motion.
I like it.
So, like, for people who don't know, who watch this, you're from Johnstown. You grew up in the area and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
how different is it from going to like wrestling into like full-time like not full-time fighting but training to fight like
Oh, that it's tough because especially it depends how long that person has studied the art. You get so tied up to it, and then the muscle mechanics of it. Your body is telling you to do something else that you're so accustomed to doing. When for wrestling for myself, if I'm level changing, I'm looking for a shot. Meanwhile, if I don't have the mind state of, okay, I can get punched in the face, well, I might take a bad shot or another version of that type of technique and then end up paying for it. But it's really just it is tough for some people. I think I had a natural act for it. It came very natural for me my whole life. But for most people, the transition is hard just due to breaking down your own discipline and allowing another one to come in. And most people can't adjust, or they're not as great with the other art. But you have to be vulnerable to it and allow it. You can't force it. So I think when it comes naturally, even if you're not a natural per se, but when you allow it when you stop fighting the system that you're trying to learn, that's when things really start looking beautiful.
What's been the message, really? You're 2 weeks away from the fight. We can't wait to see you out there. So, I mean, you're almost 2 weeks out of the fight, 2 weeks exactly, from this recording. But, I mean, like, what's just been the message, really, for you and, like, in the gym, like, training and everything, like, getting you prepared?
All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. And really just one step at a time, though, as well. But also, no fear. No looking back. Sign the contract. It's time to get it. You can't worry about the what ifs and all that. You write. I'm in the process right now of writing my own story, so I guess we won't know until the end. Yeah. So right now, after that, it's a comma. Comma. So.
Story's just beginning for you, man. I know that for sure.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
So, are there any, like, fighters you look up to and stuff, like, that you, like, watch religiously and all that, too?
I'd say what really got me started was Charles, Crazy Horse. But who I look up to now, obviously the GOAT. For my GOAT, I'm not going to lie, this is always subjective to some people, but my GOAT will still be Anderson Silva, and then next would be John Jones. But I favor Demetrius Johnson a lot. Oddly, Cub Swanson.
That's
I like Cub Swanson. He always had a little impact on me, too.
He's going to be on the 303 card, too, in a couple weeks.
Really?
I think he is, yeah. He's going to be on the card. I forget who he's fighting, but I know he's on there.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I'd say Cub Swanson, and who? There's one more. There's one more I'm creeping. I could go out the way and say GSP, but nah. Clay Guida. Yeah, there you go.
Man.
Clay
I was
Guida.
just watching that fight with I forget. He was the main event. They were like chucking back and forth. Sanchez or something. Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
Was it him?
I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
I was just watching that fight before I came here, but yeah.
Yeah, Clay Guida. I think that's how he approaches things too. He's usually gory and he's down to bang. But yeah, those would be my take.
Yeah. That's actually a long list of fighters, to be honest.
And I think it's very, like, underrated.
Yeah.
And some of them are even overlooked, so, I mean, definitely.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of people, and that's just, I think, with life in general, if you're not at the top, no one wants to give you your flowers, until you're gone and such. So, like, me understanding everyone's a person, everyone, holds something really great about them or whatever. It's just, there's just not a lot of areas for people to shine, but it doesn't mean that they don't sparkle a little bit. There's something that, that you can see in those people, even if they're not ranked or whatever. So I think just me having that awareness about other people clearly helped myself, knowing okay, I can learn something from these guys, even if they're from the bottom. You know, there's always something to learn. White belt mindset. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
something.
So honestly though, what got you into like what's the word I'm looking for? What drove you to get into MMA?
Initially my mom. Initially my mom, and then after I said it, and you know, I've practiced a few times in high school with some amateurs and some pros because they needed some wrestling work. So me, my boy William Trey Least, Javon Simon, Jeremiah Mitchell, Devon Edwards, Evan Smith, we would go work at Cold Steel after practice. Coach Steele wrestling with Quintine Robinson, my brother Will Harris, and Carlton Hasselrig, and they would, you know, have us in the circles with those guys, getting beat up, but you know, also getting some work in too. And then my senior year, I said, you know, on my senior night, I told everyone my goal was to fight in MMA, and ever since then, I had to make sure I at least fought. You know, I couldn't. That's something that my soul was telling me, this is what you're good at, and you at least have to try to participate in an event. And now, over the years, it consumed me. It's like, okay, it's more than just an obsession, but I definitely, it consumed me to where this is the essence of who I am. I've always been a fighter. So if you don't give this a shot, then it's most likely like your mental's gonna die.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're 100% right on that, honestly.
yeah. It was tough. It was tough, and there was a lot of, you know, there was a lot of pain in there because there's a lot of stuff that I had to look at myself objectively and go, hey, well, time is slipping away.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with it? What are we gonna do with it? And I'm more than grateful that I'm finally pulling the trigger right here. So.
Yeah. Is there anyone you want to shout out on this right now, or?
Absolutely. Well, first I want to shout out to my town, the one that made me. Johnstown, 814, Stove Flood City, came from the flood, got it out the mud. So that's the first thing. And then, like I said, I want to shout out to Carlton Hasselrig, RIP, to the great six-timer. My mom, shout out, RIP, just lost her in April. Love you, mama. My family members, Will Harris, Melvin Harris, Melody Harris, Unique Harris, Sierra, Mandy and Mariah Harris, Erica, and my other sister Mel. So shout out to them for supporting me in however way that they can, and just growing up because life was not easy. And then my cousins, obviously, and my friends and the ones I consider brothers. Forgive my head and my heart, even though if I can't name everyone, but you know who you are. I love all you guys. I want to shout out to Strikers Wrestling Club out in Erie, and the Bear Paw Wrestling out in Hopewell, Pennsylvania. Good guys, Damon Sims and Sean Spearman. So, shout out to those. Shout out to RND for having me. First of all, congratulations to you guys getting started. So, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
No problem, man. You were high up on our list, right? But when this was even in the talks, to be honest, right when your fight got announced, you were way up there.
So yeah, definitely shout out to you guys. Shout out to Chip Bolton down in Florida doing his things for my brother, doing his thing, and then shout out to Cedric Sauls, also in Florida. It's my brother from the Navy. Really good guy. Thank you for keeping my mental straight in times too, and also shout out to the shop 814 when I'm fighting out of. Tanner, Gavin, Taylor, and Toby. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting me as well. Mama Cahill, Steve, you crazy bastard. But yeah, there's so many. Najee Dunn, shout out. Zaire, shout out. My brothers, man. Giovanni, shout out. Quintine Robinson, again, obviously. Him and my brother and the Cahill brothers, they'll be cornering me. So just shout out to those guys. And yeah, that's what it is, man. I'm stoked, and we're, like I said, a week and a half away. So, got the jitters in me, you know? I got the jitters in me. Feel like I drank 2 cups of black coffee. But, yeah, it's that time.
So, if I'm not mistaken, though, Taylor Cahill, he's fighting right after you, isn't he? Or a couple fights after?
Yeah, he's going to be on the night card. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to look forward because I'm going to be down there. I'm definitely going to be there supporting you. Me and David both will.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you fight, honestly. Yeah. It's going to be something. And plus, it's our first live MMA event, too.
It's
so,
fun.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
So, definitely a way to kick it off, huh?
Yeah, and I'll definitely be celebrating my birthday that weekend because my birthday's on a Monday, so.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on real quick, telling us about everything and how you're preparing, everything going down. So, we can't wait to see you down there and, wish you all the best leading into it. Just go get him, man. Go get him.
Yep, and we will have you on the day after the fight for sure.
Definitely.
All right, for sure. Thank you, guys.
Yep, love you, bro.
Love you too, man. Yeah, have a good one.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Malcolm
just won his first amateur fight. Congratulations, big dog.
Thank you.
Part
thank you.
Part two of our interview. We interviewed you a couple weeks back. Into it. So, let's just get into it. The fight coming out.
Right.
Definitely had all 3 rounds, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Just, walk us through it, man. Just through, coming out of the curtain and then going in the ring, getting your name announced and through the 3 rounds. Just
especially with the shit you pulled last night. Whoo, you're on everyone's radar right now.
Tell us about it.
So just the nerves I had coming in from, the kiss of death everyone's calling it, or the kiss heard all around the world. I'd say it gave me some confidence, but also it made me a little worried because I definitely had to get the W. You know what I mean? After I kiss him, I got to get the dub. But
you definitely
it was real. It was very real after I had my hands wrapped and I was warming up with the Cahills and my brother in Quintin. I was, there's no turning back when you get to the stage. And I just felt my heart beating, and I felt this rhythm. I got this rhythm, and then I felt it inside my head. And for a brief moment, I stopped, and I took a deep breath, and everything was calm.
How did it feel in the octagon, though? Because, that's different. Seeing all those people.
And that's what I'm saying. After I got wrapped up, and then initially when I stepped on those steps, and I was walking down, my music was playing, that's when it got real. As soon as the referee and the cut man, they put the Vaseline on my eyes, checked my gloves, opened the cage door, I felt like an animal. Everything was peaceful. I felt like a lion just waiting to prowl on his prey.
And, saying that, this is just after the fight. We're outside the Monroeville Convention Center here.
Shout out 247, hell of a card tonight. I will say that, especially a prelim card.
Why don't we jump into that real quick? The kiss heard around the world. What was the thought behind that? Because as soon as that post, it goes viral. I wake up this morning, it's already on Twitter.
I called him and told him, I'm like, dude, you're viral. He's like, there's no way. And I'm like, I sent him the screenshot. And he's like, holy shit.
Yeah, tell us about that. What made you want to?
I didn't. There was no plans of going viral. At all. I wasn't thinking about that.
You told me you were just trying to be funny.
Yeah, I was just trying to get into his head and me. It's my character, you know what I mean? Just to fuck with people mentally. My apologies for the cuss words.
No, you're fine.
No, I was just trying to get into his head. That's the one advantage. If you do that initially before the fight, you make your guy think a lot. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to live rent-free in his head and make him just ponder of who I am and what I'm going to do to him. Because if I can kiss him, obviously they're going to think I'm crazy. So I just had to, let them know that I was here.
I mean, him going into that, you could tell from his from what I saw, you could tell he was like, dude, I'm, his body language is like, I'm scared.
Yeah. And it is raining right now.
Yeah. Should we get in the car?
What did it feel like inside there, if you remember? Do you remember putting him in a triangle, the arm bar you did? Do you remember any of that?
I do. So when I took his back, and, I was trying to score some points. I think I landed a few hammer fists and a few elbows to the thighs and to the ribs. And then, I'm so mad that I gave up position and when he turned me over and had me on my back. But I was so comfortable with my jiu-jitsu game. So, I had that overhook on the right, on his right side. And as he threw it over, it just slid in. My leg slid right over and the other leg was already in position. I seen it, grabbed it, caught it. Yeah, that's all I remember.
He didn't hit you that many times. Like, round 1 you had for sure, and round 2 there's no way in hell you didn't have that. Just because of how you were, like, the bobbing and weaving you did in that fight, like, every time you, like, I'm assuming you read his body language, you knew when he was throwing before he even knew, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because you would go out of the way before he even swung, like, you...
Yeah, I think I had a good camp with the Cahills at the shop. They were just teaching me a little small tips and things to notice with the telegraph, and he telegraphs a lot. So.
That's what I said. I said that to Dan. Like, he's telegraphing everything. Like, I could see from outside the octagon where his kicks were gonna go. I'm like, side kick. It didn't land, but you could tell just by how he was.
I mean, speaking of outside the octagon, prior to the fight, pre-fight, I don't think I've ever seen a fighter like you get that amped up and pumped up. Just
you were
before a fight. You know what I mean?
Most fighters are like, they have that thing, like, they're quiet, they're focused. You were yourself. Like, how? Because you're stepping in the octagon with someone for 6 minutes. Those cage doors ain't opening until, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I understand as a warrior, you want to be humble, and modest, but also, if you're a warrior and you're going into war, you can't be. It's the calm before the storm, and I was already in the calm part already before up the training camp. And where we're here, the fire's lit, and the only thing I could think of is be myself. I'm not trying to be anyone else other than myself. My mom, I lost her 3 months ago. But that's one thing my mom always told me, you be yourself wherever you are. People are going to love you regardless.
So, like, training-wise, you had his wrestling, like, you completely nullified whatever wrestling he was trying to do. Like, he tried to take you down, 2 times? And you stuffed his shots every single time. Like, did you have someone with, like, the same wrestling skill as him? Or did you just see him try to take you down before? Because when you hit him with that back fist, the spinning back fist the first time, he immediately tried taking you down, because personally, I think he was stunned as hell.
Yeah, that was the game plan, actually, to make sure I landed a big shot at Lace. We actually wanted him to I wanted to force him to wrestling. I knew he was a wrestler, my wrestling, I'd say is pretty good. So I think it was good that it would at least negate it, which I believe it did with the takedown defenses. I did so. But I was really hoping to have a stand-up battle, and although I did get a little bit tired, I capitalized off of those, and especially stopping his takedowns. So if I could stop his takedowns, he would definitely be on his feet. Either or, I felt comfortable. I was just trying to force a situation that I seen that was valuable.
Well, either way, if you were tired going into the 3rd round, dude, you did not look tired whatsoever. You came out, you hit him with the back fist again, and you started hammering shots on him. Like, I honestly thought it was going to be a knockout, because you were just one right after the other, backing him into the cage.
During the timeouts, you're the one standing up, ready to go already like that. So, I mean, the stamina definitely is there, so.
Like I told him, you have the stamina of a goddamn racehorse, like, and you don't quit, like, even when you're tired, and it was funny because his family was like, he's tired, he don't want to wrestle, and I laughed. I'm like, you clearly do not know this man.
Yeah, first period, second period goes to the most technical and, swift. 3rd period, our championship round, it always goes to the person with more heart. I got that pain with me, just the way I was raised, the dog,
Yeah.
You can always take a dog out the fight, but you can't take the fight out the dog. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Speaking of, the corner, you had Quintin and who else?
My brother, Will Harris.
Well, what's that like having them on your corner and by your side, giving you that advice?
It was the most important thing to me. They coached me throughout my whole life for wrestling. Also with Carlton Hasselrig, RIP Big Hass, one of the greatest collegiate wrestler in my opinion, and many others. But it was just something that was so invaluable that no one can take from me. These are my idols. These are the people who've seen me grow, who've pushed me, who've broken me, and also repaired me and showed me different levels to myself. And I thought I owed it to them to be a part of my first. They was a part of my last. They was part of my first for my fighting, and it's just something that you can't make up or you can't take back. And I'm just happy that I got to give them this experience.
Well, how you feel with them looking up to them, I definitely look up to you. You gave me a lot of strength to go through and actually start doing this. Like, the way everything is, like, with you, like, just how you are as a person, you draw people in.
Would you say can't be broken's definitely one of your mottos?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, what was the choice behind that song with Lil Wayne, Can't Be Broken? What was the choice behind that?
Can't be broken. The trials and tribulations that I faced throughout life, all the adversities and dark moments. If I'm the alchemist, if you can't transmute that pain into gain for yourself, that you can never ascend. And that's in anything, in elevation. So that pain can't be broken. A willow tree bends so many times, but if you look at it in the roots and the branches, they come back and they're majestic and they're vibrant and they flow. So that's the only thing I can say. We always bend, and it's okay to bend, but we just don't break.
So I know that you're far from done with this.
Sure. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning, man.
What are your goals that you want to do now? Like that because he was the number 8th or 6th ranked fighter out of West Virginia, and you controlled that entire fight. So I know you got bigger goals now, knowing you went in there, and it was unanimous. Like, you did your job all fight. And what are your goals now from here?
Keep training hard, bro. Keep training hard and keep learning. That's the only thing you can do. I was grateful to have an opponent such as Cam Jenkins. He showed me a lot about myself too. I'm happy I had that fight. So shout out to him and shout out to his team. Real shit. But just keep going. That's the only thing you can do. Just same thing with you guys in your podcast. You got to start with one person at a time, and that's the same thing with me. I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and although I'm not a crab, believe I'm climbing. I'm climbing to the top.
You definitely climbed today, because I feel like when rankings come out Monday, you're gonna be ranked.
For sure. And speaking of learning, let's jump outside of the box. Let's jump outside the boxing ring. Yeah, definitely. Let's jump outside the ring for a little bit. I saw on your Facebook a week ago. What was it about? Croker University, Croker. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about that. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, so me and my lady, we got accepted to Coker University. I'm going to be studying sports science, physical education. She's going to be studying business. So it's just schooling. Trying to start our careers again, not just other than just fighting, but on the other side.
You can definitely make this a career, though.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. And I think that's one of my superpowers is there is no box. Just like the Matrix, when the little kid is in the room when Neo wants to go see the Oracle and he's bending the spoon, and he's like, how you do that? The little kid says there is no spoon. But my mom always said, don't let anyone put a category on you, or don't let anyone tag you to something, and you can be more than one thing. I think a lot of people fall short of that. They only put themselves in a box, and when you do that, you lose space to grow. You know what they say? The biggest fish or whatever in the pond, they won't survive in the ocean. So
yeah,
I mean that small pond, or that analogy with small fish, big fish, just put me in the ocean and I'm gonna adapt. That's how I feel.
So walk us through, though. I meant to ask this earlier. What did it feel like to get that win? Because I know I sure as hell was amped. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Grateful, because of, if you know me, you know my story. I've been through so much. My family been through so much, and I'm not fighting just for myself. I'm fighting for my family. I'm fighting for my town, just to remind people that it's not over until you quit and give up. A lot of people thought I was done in so many things, and I would say more so it was just like a hiatus or even a sabbatical. I found myself in many other ways. So that's just what I really want to relate to people and show them, like, you just never got to stop. And if you do, don't stop, but take a brief moment to breathe and reassess yourself and get back on the horse.
That's actually very good advice, actually. Because you gave me some very good advice that I took, and it helped me immensely. How did it feel? I know I'm jumping around because these are all just coming as...
Yeah.
No, I get it.
How did it feel walking in there? Like, I know, like, how that must feel, because there was people there and then people watching online. Like, when they said your name, that entire arena there went nuts.
Yeah, it felt right. It felt like exactly how I envisioned it. That's it felt right. That's it.
With you though, as a person, like, I know you said you got in there, and like when you said unanimous, you thought you lost.
Yeah.
Why did you think that? Because from the way we were looking, you did not lose a single round,
no
like
way.
at all. Like you controlled that entire fight.
When he was trying for the takedown, you know, the defense was there. Your offense was obviously there for the takedowns.
You have the best defense I've seen
Definitely.
like in a long time.
Those spinning back fists, connecting here
Oh,
there.
those were
Definitely.
loud.
Definitely after the second round, I'm like, he's definitely got this in the bag. So I mean, I even knew it from the first round.
Yeah, from the
Still.
first round, I'm like, he already got inside this dude's head. He broke. I swear, like, you had to have broken Cam last night, just like from how he was. Because even walking out, like, as close as we were, I just saw he was like nervous.
That was the game plan from the start. I mean, I didn't know I was gonna kiss him and everything, but to get in his head in some type of way, you know, most of the fights they start with a mental battle, especially before throwing a punch. And Wayne's the first time to at least insert some type of dominance. You know, art of war, baby.
Yeah.
So I mean, you think he'll be back up here in 24/7 here soon? What have the talks been like with the GM?
No talks yet. You know, definitely definitely. I guess I need to tone down a little bit, you know. But I would love to be back at this promotion. The guys are awesome. The way we were keeping contact and just checking up on each other. I mean, I feel really grateful for the invite, and I would love to be back here again, especially if they do it in Johnstown. Holla at me. I definitely would love to do that.
That's my goal right there.
And yeah, I would love to do. I would love to be in this promotion again, for certain.
What were the talks after the post fight? Because I know we were by you two whenever after you guys were talking. So what were those talks like, if you don't mind?
With who?
The GM.
Oh, just good fight. Good fight. Thank you. You were everything. You know, they said you were everything we thought you were going to be. So that was even a bigger compliment. It really brightened my eyes to go, wow. You know, people were really excited to see me. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have people even anticipate my arrival. And like I said, this is only the arrival, and I can only get better from here.
I don't even know what else to ask. Everything's just kind of randomly coming out.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely been a hell of a trip coming down here. Definitely hell of a match.
I appreciate y'all for coming down and hollering at your boy.
Definitely.
Yeah, like you guys said, I mean, when I first posted, you guys were one of the first two. I'm like, yeah, we want to interview you, but also we're gonna come at your fight. So thank you for supporting in both ways and giving me a name for this platform.
I made sure I recorded videos. Hopefully we get a vlog out of that too. So the whole weekend.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the day of ours just getting started.
Yeah, because we got UFC 303.
I know y'all, but I know.
And then we got our session. I mean,
that's gonna be at 2 a.m. That's gonna be lovely.
Yeah,
it'll be all right though. Gotta do what we gotta do.
So you're just only getting started. I mean, are there any, like, mentally, like, if you were offered to go pro at any point, would you take that?
Realistically, I think I need a few more fights. Not too many. I'm not trying to skyrocket and have 100 wins as an amateur. Nothing like that.
That's too much in my opinion, personally. Like, I think like a 10 win, like, all right, cool, you're good enough.
Maybe not even that, but you know, it's a good fill out. This first one, it was a lot of experience. Just to get a good feel for it. So who knows? Down the road, we'll see.
You're only gonna get better.
Definitely.
One day at a time. So, you know, I'm just gonna enjoy this win, and whenever I'm ready to bang again, or if someone needs me to holler at me, you know, I'm here.
Oh, I'm definitely coming to all your fights, and hopefully one day we share a card, because that's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I'm the boogeyman. Let people keep sleeping on me. You know what I mean? I'm the boogeyman under the boogeyman's bed. So,
Riley, what was the talk you had with one of the Cahills?
Pretty much just kind of talking to me about feeling me out and stuff, seeing like what I wanted to do. I'm gonna start going to the shop Mondays and Fridays. I mean, the way they do jiu-jitsu and everything, from what I saw out of Malcolm, I mean, he is a shop product. I mean, if I put Flood City and the shop together, even if it's just jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and I mix that together, I'm gonna be
Deadly combo, getting into the ring, and nightmare for someone when you face them, you know.
Yeah, and especially with me being a switch hitter and everything, when I perfect one and I go to do a switch hit there. What?
Keep going with your switch hitter.
It's going to be confusing for them because I've watched videos on actual switch hitters. They're some of the best to ever do it. Mike Tyson's one of them, but he's not MMA, but he's boxing. Conor McGregor is a switch hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the greatest in MMA and boxing are switch hitters, and just watching how they approach fights like that style, you can't match it because you don't know, because they can throw something with one stance and then completely give you the same look at the other stance and something completely different.
Yeah. I think that's going to be one of my strengths as well, and how I applied it with my rhythm, and that can only get better, like I said, even just the muscle endurance. So the more I train that, I can say look forward to even more fireworks. I'm really excited to see how far and hard I can push my body and the things I can learn, and just to bring it to fruition and show the world what I can do, and what the body can do is phenomenal. So
Well, you're definitely viral right now when this fight gets posted. Oh,
And speaking of the world and getting viral out there, you know, and everybody watching and everyone who attended here, is there any message you want to send out there to anybody?
Yeah, man, it's never too late to start again. You know, we all have dark times, and I know it might sound cliche and corny, but through the darkest times is where you'll find that little glimmer of hope. And when you do that, you just gotta run with it. Most people think it's the other side of the, you know, they about to see death, or it could be a train. Who knows? But I'm willing to step into that. I'm willing to step into that tunnel and keep going towards the light, because it can only mean brighter things in the future.
well, I definitely look forward to having you on this podcast more frequently, especially since I know you're going to college, but you're still going to be working out every day perfecting your craft.
Yeah, and this another thing is just love yourself, forgive yourself, and forgive others. I think
You taught me that.
I think without that, you can't grow. In order to grow physically, you have to grow mentally. It pushes you leaps and bounds, and a lot of people, they're scared to. They're really scared to take that step into the unknown. But me, I'm all about that. I'll travel through the abyss by myself, and I'll find a way. I'll always find a way. That's one thing. And if I can find a way, you can find a way. And that's how I believe.
Before we wrap this up here really soon, like I said, we do appreciate your time, hell of a fight, but is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to give all the glory to God and the universe for everything that they've given me, the hard times and the easy times and the tests. I want to shout out to my mom. I just lost 3 months ago. R.I.P. Mama. This was for you. This is my main thing for her. She always wanted to see me fight, so thank you for that. And I know she's looking down on me. I want to give a shout out to my corner, you know, all the guys, Quintin, Will, Tanner, Toby, Taylor, all the Cahills. And then obviously shout out to my daughters, Makayla and Sayara, and my lady Jessie for supporting me and the love that they give me. And it's reinforcing every day, even when I don't want to wake up out of bed or I'm feeling some type of way. They're my motivation. And shout out to Johnstown. Johnstown is the, you know, who raised me, who molded me into who I am. And Genius Society, holler at me. Jay Lamont, go get some merch right there. I had the shirt on. They got another hat coming. But yeah, his music and his merch is fire. And the R&D, thank you guys again for the second goddamn interview. Y'all are awesome. And like I said, I wish y'all the best of luck and keep growing. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Javon. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Tone. Shout out to Sid. Shout out to Roshan. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Smoothie. Shout out to Zaire. Shout out to G. Shout out Los. You know Chip down in Florida. Shout out to goddamn. Woo! I'm on a tangent, boy. I mean, shout out to Uncle Luke. Shout out to Alquan. Shout out, man, who else? Shout out to my cousin Lawrence and his family, Mom Penny, my cousins. My cousin April couldn't come, but shout out to you. Shout out to April. Me speak no Chinese. You know that's the inside joke. Shout out to Hot Rod. You already know my boy Rodney couldn't come. Shout out to Ryan. He actually bought a ticket in the first, in the beginning, in the first seats. And he couldn't make it, but he did that. He said, man, I'm here in spirit, and that was so cool. That's my boy. I love him. Shout out to Red, shout out to Zach. And yeah, just shout out to myself. That's all I'm saying, for showing up.
You definitely showed up, and that was one hell of a fight. I've never, like, all those other fights before you, I don't even remember, like,
Literally.
your fight is the only one I remember because just the feeling of, like, being there with you was, like, holy shit.
We
like,
had 3 Muay Thai fights before his main event. And then the MMA part, you guys kicked it off in the MMA part. It definitely kicked it off with a bang. So, I mean,
like, knowing, like, I've known you, it seems like forever, and I know what you went through and everything. This has definitely been a long time coming for you. Like,
Also, shout out to my brother Jared Cassiati. I hear you, see you, boy. Keep working. I love you.
but any more questions, David?
I think we're good, man.
Anything else you want to say, Malcolm?
Hey, J-Town, we got one. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Malcolm, thank you so much once again. We'll let you get back to your family once again at the Monroeville Convention Center after the fight.
Yeah, man. Y'all be
Good luck to the
K
Cahills tonight, by the way. They are
Absolutely.
fighting.
Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to the shop. Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to 24/7 too. You know,
Big shout out to 24/7. My apologies, but yeah, shout out to them. Thank you for having me again, and I can't wait to what the future holds for us.
and hopefully we definitely get you on here more and more times. I mean, this is the second time already. We're only a couple episodes in, but you know what? It's the way we do it around here.
Yeah.
So, appreciate it once again, Malcolm. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your win. You know,
Thank you, guys.
let's keep going, man. Let's keep going.
Yes, sir.